Welcome to the webinar on chronic pain, 11 Rethinks, a way to view chronic pain differently. So the goal of this webinar tonight and the theme, that the causes of chronic pain are maybe not always what you think they are, and that maybe we can come to the conclusion that in most cases chronic pain is not a medical issue. And in fact, that opens new ways to deal with it differently. And that is important for me, for you, so that you know you can heal your pain completely different. Now, let's start. Yes, I see Brajesh coming in. Super, Brajesh. So I know that you are going to handle questions or comments that may come up, and otherwise they go towards the end. So what is a rethink? Rethink is maybe not a common English word, but what I mean with that is that I want to reconsider, review, revisit, and reevaluate everything that has to deal with the beliefs on chronic pain, and come to this conclusion that chronic pain in most cases is not a medical issue. So the reason why I want to do that is to give you an option to live a pain-free life, so that pain management can become pain banishment. Okay, my 6 years of chronic pain, in short, I got loads of scans. I got loads of, I've seen loads of doctors. I've tried over 35 different methods and techniques to get rid of my pain, to find relief. Some worked temporarily, some worked not at all. It was an interesting ride. It all finished with Zero Pain Now, and that was back in 2018. Now, this is one of my sons, the youngest one. He's 10 in the picture. And here I can lift him without a problem. So I had two bags of groceries in my arms. He was jumping on my hip, and I can do that now that he's now 11 in the picture. He's 10, but when he was 2, when my pain started, I could not do this because I was afraid of hurting my back. So this is an overview of the 11 rethinks, and I'm going to do them one by one. There will be something on natural healing, mind-body connection, really important one. Something on diagnosis, something about heat, exercise, back cracking. Also something about pain levels, that they fluctuate, lifestyle, where the impact is, pain location, GI, gastrointestinal issues, and something about your personality, which is also, really important factor in having or not chronic pain. One by one. First of all, for who is this webinar? It is for people that are suffering chronic or recurrent pain, in general, in something that has lasted for over 3 months, and that you are not improving despite specialist help that you've already received, maybe for years. Also, to make sure that that there is no cancer or MS or other organic type of illnesses, and that medication is maybe not working or not working anymore, then this webinar is for you. And then, of course, you should have something like pain in the form of tingling, burning, numbness, weakness, or it can be felt as nerve pain, and it can be on all these types of spots in the body, like in the neck, in the shoulders, in the back, in the hips, in the knees, in the ankles, in the wrists, in the elbows. I have to do a little disclaimer because I'm not a doctor, I'm a coach, and the information from this webinar is for informational purposes only. And also, I'm also asking you to suspend your beliefs about pain and listen with a free and open mind, because what you are going to learn is totally different than what you've probably heard so far as reasons of your pain. Now, in past years, there were these beliefs about the earth. They thought the earth was flat. And when somebody came to tell, no, the earth is actually round, many people were, but didn't agree, violently opposed or ridicule. And it took a lot of time before people were actually adopting these new beliefs. Now, Columbus discovered America, and he needed to get sailors with him on his boat. So he absolutely needed to convince people that the Earth was round, because otherwise the sailors were afraid to fall off the Earth, and he wouldn't get any people with him. So the beliefs in chronic pain are probably the same. So far, the most common belief is that an abnormality in your spine is the base of your pain. And that is, in most cases, not true. We will see that later on with different evidence researches. But the beliefs need to be changed. Now, people have to do two things. You have to adopt the new belief, but you also have to drop the old belief for the new one really to take into effect. And that can be sometimes a little bit of a challenge. But know that. Now, some statistics on chronic pain. In the USA, 1 in 2 adults suffer chronic pain, which is a lot. In Europe, it's about 1 in 3, 1 in 4. And the industry of opioids, the painkillers, that's an industry of $600 billion US. That industry is huge. Now, there are increasing problems with the opioids, because there's more and more resistance, so it doesn't work anymore like it used to do before. They are nevertheless addictive, despite what Big Pharma have told us in the past. There is misuse of drugs, not intentionally, but also unintentionally. There are disorders that are coming up, and daily in the United States, only 128 people die of an overdose of opioids. So that is a lot. And if knowing that most chronic pain is not a medical issue and that can be prevented, that's important. So here we go. So that's my statement of this evening. What if most chronic pain is not a medical issue? So here we go with the 11 rethinks. Rethink number 1. Why is my physical pain never ending? Now, normally, when you hurt yourself, when you cut yourself, when you have a burn, it takes a couple of days, couple of weeks maximum, and then the body is healed. The body is an amazing natural healing machine. This is me when I was 12 years old. I tripled over my own legs and broke a leg. And it's not the doctor that heals the bone. There is an intelligence inside of the body that creates the new bone, that puts it together. It's ingenious. So most of the things that happen to a body, it knows how to heal. All right. So the plaster is just there from the doctor he establishes, of course, if there is a bone fracture. And the plaster is just there to make sure that you don't move your arm or leg so that it can heal properly. But no, the body itself knows how to do that. And normally that happens within 6 weeks. Now, of course, then you can have a question like, okay, but I have herniated discs. Why does my spine not heal in 6 weeks? We'll get back to that one later. This is an image of my spine, the L4, L5 degenerated disc, what many people have, and which is commonly called the degenerative disc disease. But it's maybe not really a disease. Maybe it's just a normal sign of aging. And I will show you some evidence on that later on. So if you are in chronic pain and it hasn't healed within 3 months, then it's an indicator that very probably your pain has nothing to do with something that the body can restore, but that there's something else going on. Rethink number 2. What is the mind-body connection? You might have heard already about this, maybe not. Now, the mind and the body are connected. Let's take the example of stress. Stress is it's a buzzword, but it's something really normal in life. You can see the image. I have the brain behind it. You can have stress with your health, with your family, with financial, with your work, partners, in-laws, house. I mean, the virus. There are so many sources of stress in life that one can have, and stress is something that happens in the mind. Now, when that stress and tension is in your mind, it has an effect on your body, and I will give you 2 examples. So imagine, and you probably have had that already at least once in your life. You know that you are on a highway, for instance, and or you're driving somewhere, and then all of a sudden, bam! You know, it's like, whew, you have something that's happening unexpectedly in front of you, and it scares the shit out of you. And when you have something like that happening, it is. Let me go to the next slide. It has the emotion of fear that is happening in your mind, and it gives physical sensations, and it can be different things. It can be an increased heart rate, it can be warm, sweaty hands, it can be all the blood is running out of your face. It can provoke all kinds of physical sensations. And let me give you another example. Blushing. So blushing is some people turn red in the cheeks or in the neck, and but not everybody does it. And it starts with the emotion of shame or embarrassment in your mind, that I said something stupid. What are people going to think from me? That starts in the mind, and then somehow the body inflicts this becoming red in your face, and it doesn't turn red on your ankles. It only turns red where you see it. So somehow the body is really intelligent on how to do this. And for chronic pain, something similar happens. So there is stress and tension and emotions are in the mind, and then somehow it gives pain in your body. Now, how does the body do that? This is what I will explain you now. So it starts with the stress, tension, and emotions. And then in the autonomic nervous system, which is in the limbic brain, where the emotions and events are stored, memories. And it's like a switch that goes on. And what it does is that it reduces blood flow, restricts the blood vessels. So if the blood vessels are restricted, there's less blood flow, and with blood flow comes oxygen. And those two together, that's called ischemia, that is what is causing the pain. And the body knows exactly where to do this. And most in the cases, it chooses the back. It doesn't happen everywhere in your body, just on a really specific place. So this is how the pain happens. And there's also evidence for this. So the pain is due to an oxygen deprivation in muscle cells, and can also be tendons, by the way. That is only about 5%. So the brain is not really inflicting a damage on your body. It's really benign. It's about 5%. Now, the research that is available in 1975, there were 2 German investigators that found this oxygen deprivation in patients with back pain. In 1985, 10 years later, Swedish rheumatologists duplicated this research. And between 1984 and 2014, it was Dr. Sarno that wrote books about how chronic pain is coming up. He wrote 4 books on it, and those are really good books. He was the one that discovered and made the knowledge available to a large public. Then in 2009, Adam Heller, the creator of the Therapy Now program, also found research confirming this. And there's even in 2013 research about fibromyalgia patients where they found this as well, this oxygen deprivation. So it is there, and it's an interesting phenomenon. Now that we know how it happens, we also know how to get rid of it. So, but in short, so this is the mind-body connection. So it starts with stress, tension, and emotions in our mind. The autonomic nervous system is like a switch, restricts blood vessels on a specific way, oxygen deprivation, and that is what giving the pain in the specific area of your body. Okay, so that you know how it understands. So this was Rethink number 2. Is there a mind-body connection? Well, there's clear evidence that there is one, and it plays a huge role in chronic pain. So out of the 11 rethinks, every now and then I'll do a small recap. We've had natural healing. Normally the body heals within 6 weeks, and the mind-body with the oxygen deprivation plays a role. Rethink number 3, scary diagnosis, and what do scans really say? Some of the people that went through the COP Now program, they also got all kinds of diagnoses. This is Lisa. She suffered 25 years fibromyalgia, and she was diagnosed with bone spurs in her neck, a bulging disc in her neck, a dislocated elbow, and an unhealed broken wrist. So she had body pains all over, and she was told that those were the causes of her pain. Now and she suffered for 25 years. After she went through the COP Now program, the diagnoses were still there, but her pain was gone. So it's not really the cause of pain. And here we have Kathy. She suffered 15 years with pain in her knee, in her arms, and also in her back. And she was diagnosed with knee arthritis, sciatica, and carpal tunnel syndrome. She's a cook in a college, so she uses a lot of pots and pans to cook dinners. And we had to laugh when we got this picture from her after having finished the program, because her problem was she wasn't able to kneel. When she was able to, she was so happy that she sent us this picture, and we were like, Kathy, what are you doing? But she was so happy that she was able to kneel and get up again, of course. But she got also loads of diagnoses. So now we are getting to the proof part on the diagnosis, where it can become clear that most chronic pain is not a medical issue. So research evidence. There was an article in New England Journal of Medicine already in 1994, where they had an MRI on 98 people with no history of back pain. And when they looked at their scans, they found that 66% had bulging discs at one or more levels, or protrusions, extrusions, the herniations, and those people have never had any pain. So how come the people that have pain are being attributed to their diagnosis, although there are as many people that have exactly the same diagnosis that have no pain? There's no one-on-one relation, but that when scans were developed years and years and years ago, that counter research has just never been done. Here another part, important research, and this is where it will show that these abnormalities in the spine is a normal part of aging. This was done in 2015, reported in 2015. The actual research was in 2014, I believe. Reported in the American Journal of Radiology, and this is about 3,110 individuals that never had any pain, and they classified them by age and by diagnosis. Now I highlighted in the table the 50-year category because that's my age, and I was diagnosed with a degenerated disc, and there you can see that 80% of the people that are in the 50 plus age category already have degenerated discs. So this has to do with aging. This has nothing to do with pain, because this is from a sample group that didn't have any back pain. So they have 80% of them already have degenerated discs. Now I open the complete table, and here you can see that the disc generations, the disc bulges, the protrusions, and other scary sounding diagnoses, that in fact it increases with age. The older you are, the more abnormalities one can find on a scan by age. So there's no one-on-one relation. That's important to sink in if ever you got a diagnosis. There's just not one link, despite what doctors are saying, but they are not. This is not in their studies. I don't know. So if you did get a scary diagnosis, because they always have complex names like ankylosing spondylitis, and when I got my diagnosis, I was like, oh my God, what is it? Is this scary? Am I going to die from this? Is this horrible disease? But it's that they come up with these names, and it's just a diagnosis. But it doesn't, in most cases, it doesn't say anything. And as you can see from that evidence, that research, it's often just on a sign of aging. So it's not saying something about the cause. It's just a symptom. Rethink number 4. Do you get temporary relief from heat? Now, I still have to encounter the first person that has never tried heat or cold to get relief from pain, because almost everybody does that. And when we think about it with what I explained just before about the blood flow and the restriction of the vessels, heat, what does heat do? When you put heat on a place that is painful, what it does, it increases the heat, and it changes temporarily often the pain, because when the heat is gone, then the pain is coming back. But heat, it warms it up. And what does heat do? It expands again the vessels, so more blood flow can go through, more blood, more oxygen, so the pain goes away temporarily. But what I am saying is that if it's not a medical issue and stress and tension are the basis of the pain, well, the stress and tension are still there, despite the heat package that you've put in there. So the pain will come back when the stress is also back into place. And then it's like trying to hold a beach ball underwater, which will take a lot of effort, of course. So this is okay. I already mentioned this. So the mind-body connection takes over again. Less blood flow, less oxygen, and the pain is back. You're back at square one. So if you do get temporary relief from heat, then it's self-evident that it treats the symptom, but not the cause of your pain. And you want to get rid of the cause of your pain, because otherwise it will always come back. Rethink number 5. Many people try exercising to get rid of their pain. And some people get temporary relief, some also not at all. But what happens when you do exercising? Now, I've tried a lot of those in this category. Out of my 35 techniques, there were many. I tried physical exercise. I did swimming, even in the canals of Amsterdam. Very interesting experience. I did yoga. I did stretching. I did running. I did cycling. I did Pilates. I did Qigong. Did it help? Well, my body was stronger than ever. I was more flexible than ever. I was more mindful than ever. I was more conscious than ever. But it didn't do anything with my pain. So those were not the things that got me out of pain. And if you think about it, does exercise unbulge your disc or unherniate your disc or unfibromyalgia and sciatica you? No, it doesn't. It doesn't do anything on exercise. But what does exercise do is it puts the body in movement. And when you put the body in movement, the blood vessels go up again, more blood flow, and your pain goes away temporarily, right? So this is how you can explain why there is less pain when you do exercising. And again, the stress and tension are still there, which are the real cause. So the pain is coming back. This is Carla. She suffered 15 years back, neck, shoulders, and knee pain. And she tried also a lot of exercising, like stretching, yoga, hiking. She had a lot of procedures in place to try to manage the pain, but it never got her out of pain. It only also worked temporarily. So again, this is also clear that this is working on the symptom and not on the cause, because otherwise the pain would have stayed away. Rethink number 6. Do you get relief from back cracking? Many people try that solution. The chiropractor, the osteopath, the manual therapist, the physical therapy, the acupuncture, the massage. There are so many ways where people want to align and crack your back, which is very nice, except for this part where when they take your head and it's like, oh, I hated that part. But for the rest, I really loved all those activities to relieve the pain. It was all people were nice, people were open, people were listening to you. It was all nice. It was nice to get the attention, but it didn't get me out of pain. And again, when you think about it, what does back cracking or the physical therapy, massage, what does it do? It puts the body in movement, or it heats it up, and then you get more blood flow, more oxygen, and the pain goes away temporarily. And that's why you feel better. And of course, you also have the placebo effect. You believe that this is helping, and hence the pain will go away temporarily. But again, the cracking doesn't really unbuild your disc. Sometimes you hear cracks, but it's fat bulbs, I think, that are exploding. It's like little fat balls that make a noise, but it's not the cracking of your disc. So again, because of the fact that the pain is coming back very often, this is treating the symptom and not the cause. And think about it, how much money have you already spent on all of those techniques to get rid of your pain? And if you are still in pain, that's not ideal. So know that there's an option to manage your pain and also to remain pain-free. And that's the most important from this webinar. Know that there's a way when you learn how that mind-body connection works, and when you can take over or intervene before pain happens, then you can remain pain-free. And then you don't need any more of the physical therapy, no more of the alignment sessions. You're going to win a lot of time and money if you don't need them anymore. So we are halfway, more or less. Natural healing. So if the pain doesn't go away within 6 weeks, it's not something that the body naturally heals. There might be something else that is causing the pain. The mind-body connection, that is really important. Things happening up here. The pain is real, by the way, given the pain in the body. Then the diagnosis, which are not often saying anything really specific about the pain. And the heat, exercise, back cracking, put the body in movement. That increases blood flow, and so the pain goes away temporarily. So they are all symptoms. Let's continue. Number 7, do your pain levels change? Well, what do I mean with that? That, for instance, if you have higher periods of stress in your life, and again, stress is normal, we are humans, it's normal, family, virus, health, work, job, husband, kids, there are so many things that you can have stress about, so it's normal. And when you have more stress, everybody knows that then you also have more pain. This is an example from Mike, who suffered 9 years of back pain. He had also changing pain levels. He had some construction work during the day, which more or less he managed to do. But in the evening, he wasn't able to get out of his car. He couldn't do any cooking. Was lying on the couch, felt like a couch potato, and saw his life passing by without that it was really interesting. So I could also relate to that. I had pain when I was standing, and I didn't have any pain when I was sitting. Other people have pain in the night. Other people have pain during the day. There are so many different situations when people have pain that it fluctuates. So that is interesting, because if the doctor says your pain is coming from a diagnosis, then it shouldn't matter more or less what you're doing all day. The pain should be constant, right? So now what if these changing pain levels that everybody sees, that everybody can recognize, what if these are just triggers to pain? You might remember Pavlov. And if you don't, I'll quickly explain it. So the scientific Pavlov was conditioning a dog. He wanted to see if he could condition a dog. So he would have a bell that he would ring. Then he would open a trap and give a bowl of food to a dog. And he would repeat that experiment days and days and days in a row. So when the dog, when it saw the food, it was drooling, like, I can eat. And by repeating this often enough, the dog already started drooling when he heard the bell. And there was not even real food yet, but he was so conditioned that he knew it was going to get food. And in fact, with humans, it works exactly the same way. Our brain works the same way. We can also condition the brain. And you might relate to that. Like, I know that I'm going to get pain when I need to stand for a long time. I know that I get a lot of pain if I have to sit, or if I have to sit in this chair, or have to sit in the car, or have to drive a long time. We have conditioned our body in those ways, like the Pavlov, the dog, on when pain is coming up. So those situations have become triggers to pain, but have actually nothing anymore to do with the original cause. And that when your pain level changes, this has often way more to do with your changes in stress and tension in your life than with the diagnosis, for instance. So we are making progress. 45 minutes. Okay, so changes in stress and triggers. The other natural healing, normally within 6 weeks, our body heals. Mind-body connection, really important. It's not in your head, but it starts over here. Diagnosis, heat, exercise, backtracking, it's all working on the symptoms and not on the cause. So 4 more to go. Lifestyle. What do I mean with lifestyle? Does lifestyle change pain? Now, some people have a lot of pain when they are at work. And other people have a lot of pain when they are at home. So pain is more related to what is happening in your life, what you're doing, than for instance, that it's caused by your diagnosis. Holiday stress is always big stress for many people, either the packing. I have to pack everything, and then people get back pain because they're so stressed. It might also be just the fact that you have a lot of children to take care of in your holiday, and you want to rest, and that's not going to release your stress. Might also be a symptom. So, this again, the sources of stress, this is so human. There are so many in this world, so many sources of stress that you can have that play part in having role. And also when you ask yourself, okay, does lifestyle change your disc, your bulging disc? Well, no, it doesn't. It has nothing to do with your disc. So again, changes in if lifestyle changes pain, well, it's more related to the changes in stress and tension, and not to the lifestyle itself. So I hope that you agree with me that all of the rethinks that we've had so far, that those are indicators that chronic pain is maybe more related to stress and tension than to your diagnosis, and that it's not a medical issue. Now, 3 more to go. Does the location of your pain change? Now, this was a mind boggler for me. If your pain crawls around in your body, and what do I mean with that? For instance, I had pain, 6 years of pain, and the first 4 years it was in my back. It went to my leg, but most it was in my back, and then it went under my knee, and that was for 4 years, really excruciating pain. Then something interesting happened. Then it went to first to my other side of the knee, inside of the knee. After that, it went to my shoulder, and I got a pain under my foot. So it was like as if the pain was traveling in my body from one spot to another. With what I know now is that it all had the same cause, and that the body was, after I had done some probably placebo things, was like, okay, I need to find a new spot so that you move away your attention from the stress and tension. So this is an interesting indicator. If your pain changes location, it very often the cause is exactly the same. And it also has a good side, because that means that you can kill a bird with 2 stones. When you get rid of the cause, all those pains can go away. Here we have an example of Daryl. Suffered 9 years of back pain, and it started with back pain for years, and then it also went to his neck and to his shoulder. So okay, what if, your body is just perfect with all the spinal imperfections, and that it has the same cause, you can work on that cause. And again, so if the location of pain changes, it has more to do with changes in stress and tension that is going on in your life than if there is something bad in your body, or that your body is broken, which is just not the case. Now, when the process for pain originates in the brain, so it's not, your pain is not in the head, the pain is real. But if the process for pain originates in the brain, then that's also where the solution is. Because if you work on the body, you don't take away the root cause, and the pain will return. So again, pain is not in your head, it just originates in the brain. So I'm just remembering this quote from Schopenhauer, because you might be in this phase of ridicule or opposed. This is not possible, I got a diagnosis. But at one point in time, people will go to self-evident. 2 more to go. Gastrointestinal issues. Have you suffered any other stress-related issues? And that can be different things. I will get back to that in a minute. So again, stress is normal daily stuff. You're human. Some consider stress to be a bad word, like, I don't have stress. But no, everybody has it. It's the most basic normal thing, and especially in this society. It's getting more and more complex, so there's also more stress. Let me see, what did I, oh no, that's not yet. So there has been some research that has shown that people that suffer chronic pain have, all of 80% of them have also suffered at one point in their life some kind of gastrointestinal issue, like any of these. Many of those issues, of which constipation is one that we hear really often, migraines also, that people have had at one point in their life before the chronic pain in the back or the shoulder and the neck happened, that they've had that too. And these are also stress-related issues. So the fact that that can be the same, probably is that the same stress. When you resolve one, you resolve also these issues, which is a good thing. I'll give you 3 examples of people that had back pain and also some other GI issues. This is Carla, 15 years of back, neck, shoulder, knee pain. She had suffered occasional headaches, she had some skin issues, and she also had some gastrointestinal issues. And they were gone also after having done the Therapy Now program. Kathy, that we already seen before, she was diagnosed with heartburn and reflux. And also that was gone after the program. And me too, I can relate. I worked in IT business consultancy, so working a lot on my computer, and of course, when there was too much stress, I had pain in my wrist, repetitive strain injury, hives. I've had some allergies, and yeast infections. I've had it. So I was also having some of these tension-related issues. And so far, knock knock, haven't had any episode of those since 2018. So if you have or have had any of these stress-related issues in the past, know that these were also caused by stress and tension, and that's the indicator that your chronic back pain, shoulder pain is also caused by the same stress. Now, last rethink. I'm in time, yes. So personality traits, do they trigger chronic pain? What do I mean with personality traits? How is that influencing chronic pain? Personality traits. So put yourself in a box and be honest. Have a look. There are many of them, and they all influence chronic pain, and I will give some examples of the ones that are coming up. These are beautiful character traits. That is a first thing. It's what makes people being a nice person, a warm person, a really fun person to be with. They will do things that you ask them. You can always rely on them. The successful business people is what makes them get further. But it has also a downside. It influences on having chronic pain or not. Now, the perfectionist. Look at the picture, look at the text. If you're a perfectionist and you are somewhere and you see that something is not hanging straight, you have it immediately in your mind that that's not hanging straight. If you see it if you're reading a text and you see that there are spelling errors, it's like, this text is not correct. If you want to do things in your work, you want to be really the best version of yourself, you are always going to put more attention in it, more time. But sometimes, it's like you put all this stress on yourself. You're just being hard on yourself. And that generates a lot of negative emotions and internal pressure. Another example, the people pleaser with a fake smile image. People, it's okay to be a people pleaser. But it's also a core to do that, because you are then always trying to be this nice person that people like you. But you can't do that all of the time. Sometimes you just don't want to please. So that gives a lot of energy and stress and attention on your inside. Spiritual and religious. Now, I'm not making fun with people from the image because I consider myself pretty spiritual. But I also know now I'm a positive-minded person, but it's impossible to be always expressing peace, love, and happiness. It's not realistic. There are also downsides of life where you can have the negative emotions just as raw as they are there. That's totally okay. So, this personality trait is the one that is giving you the stress and tension, because you have this self-image about yourself on how you want to be seen by others, and you will do a lot to keep that image. And then, of course, when something happens that is not in line with this self-image, it's like on the inside you are just being angry. So. And again, what I just said, many successful business people have all these traits because that's what makes them successful. So there's nothing wrong with them, but they are a trigger to tension and stress. So these were in short, I made it within an hour, the wrap up of the 11 Rethinks. And from everything that we've seen in the past hour, so normally your body heals within 6 weeks, the natural healing. The mind-body connection, there is something happening in your mind which gives physical sensations in your body. And that's just normal everyday stuff. That's more the cause, where the cause of the pain is. And then we have a lot of things that are happening that you can call symptoms, but not the cause, like the diagnosis, because there are as many people that have maybe exactly the same diagnosis as you and they don't have pain. So there's no one-on-one relation. Then heat, exercise, backtracking puts the body in movement. Heat warms it up, more blood flow, more oxygen. Pain goes away temporarily, so it's a symptom. And then you have all kinds of situations where pain levels go up and down. Depending on the lifestyle, the pain, there's more stress or there's less stress, pain is going up and down. That the pain is traveling around in your body. The gastrointestinal issues that are also related to stress and tension, and the personality traits. These are all more like triggers to pain, and where you can find the cause. So I hope that you agree with me that there are so many indicators that, in fact, chronic pain cannot just be your diagnosis in your something a spinal issue, but that there are way more things going around, and that it has a reason that everybody has been so long in chronic pain, because everybody was just treating the symptom and not the cause, and it was not your fault because these things happen unconsciously. So why is pain then there? Now, we say within COP now, Adam Heller created he called it the diversion pain syndrome. And that pain is there as a diversion mechanism to move your attention away from the stress and tension that happen in your life. And more specific, repressed emotions, like the rage. Now, that is something that will get more attention for the people that go into the program, but know that in general, most of the pain is just a diversion mechanism away from your stress and tension. And in fact, that's a good thing, because that means you can control it and get rid of your pain. So again, the quote on truth from the philosopher Schopenhauer, where he said, well, every truth passes through 3 stages. First, it's ridiculed. Second, it's violently opposed. And then third, it is being accepted as self-evident. Now, those were the 11 Rethinks that I wanted to share with you and show that most chronic pain is not a medical issue. But I have more. What I mentioned in the beginning, I will tell something about the Zero Pain Now program. So I hope I get your permission that I continue and share something really successful with you. If for so far the information has been enough for you, you also have a choice to just stop and go away. But otherwise, if you want to learn how this really works, then stay on. And this is a radical different approach, because if pain is caused by stress and tension, then that's where the way out is. So it's time for Zero Pain Now. So the pain is not in your head. You don't need, and it's not a medical issue, so you don't need a doctor and you don't need a psychologist. But what you can use is a pain coach, somebody that's certified and that can help you show and teach you how you can heal yourself from chronic pain. But because the stress and tension is depending on your own personality, your own life, so you have the tools and the power to manage it, and the pain coach can show you how to do this. So if you look at this scheme, that when the pain and symptoms is on the right bottom, so in red, the most pain relief techniques do something on the body, and that's where the result of the pain is. But if the stress and tension already happened before in your mind, then that's where you need to intervene. And that's what we do with Zero Pain Now. We intervene so that the pain will not come up later on. And Zero Pain Now is a program of neuroplasticity, and that means experience changes the brain. When you do something new every day and you build on the previous day, you build new pathways in your brain, you create new habits, and that's where you can create a new experience and get rid of this diversion mechanism. So Zero Pain Now is a program, what you can do without medication, without physical therapy, and without surgery. So it's a completely natural program. A little side note about surgery, because there is a lot of research available that shows that surgery is not always, in the long run, giving the results that are wanted. There has been research on knee surgery, so a placebo group would get a fake surgery, and there was a group that got a real surgery, and in fact, both groups at the end came out exactly the same. So it's interesting that the ones that got the placebo, they didn't got the real operation. They were getting the stitches, but not on the inside. There was no manipulation, but they were out of pain afterwards. So there is a placebo effect in that one. Another research on spinal fusion, that in the end, in the long run, people are getting the back pain returns. So it's not that successful as they claim it is. And there was this neurosurgeon, Dr. Rosimov, who said that the herniations, in fact, that only in 3% of the cases need to be operated. So Zero Pain Now, what it is not about. Zero Pain Now has nothing to do with mindfulness, has nothing to do with breathing, has nothing to do with grounding, has nothing to do with relaxing, has nothing to do with stretching, has nothing to do with healthy food, has nothing to do with walking, relaxing on the beach. So all of these things that you see on this slide are really good for one's personal well-being. But this is not about the cause of the pain. And the Zero Pain Now is also not about this. But it is a program in which by means of giving you an experience, the brain will change in 28 days. And that the evolution of pain often goes like this, down, like on the slide that is mentioned. In the beginning, the pain is high, then as of day 6, 7, it's very low until the end of the program, and the pain is basically completely gone. And at the same time, because of the fact when your pain is gone, you can increase your physical activity and do more with your back. Like what I showed in the beginning, that my boys now jump in my arms and that I can carry them without the fear of using my back. So that is also a good thing. So it's a program where we are going to meet halfway. It's an easy program. It might sound daunting, 28 days, but it's an easy program. We meet halfway. And what I need from somebody is that you show the full commitment. Now, I will be there 24/7 during the whole program. I will be there, but you have to show your commitment, and I'll be your guidance. Now, is this a successful program? We have already over 4,000 cases that successfully banished their pain. At one point in time, there has been a pilot at the Mayo Clinic that was 100% successful, even considered a bit surprised by the people from the Mayo Clinic. For private clients, we have almost 100% success rate. And because we work completely different than most pain relief programs, in the first week of the program, 85% of the clients already get a huge reduction of their pain. So that is really cool. And what do we call success? When you have little to no pain, that you can resume all your normal physical activities, that you don't need any more other treatments, which of course you always have to discuss with your doctor if you can stop those, and also that you have no more fear of using your body, so that you can return to your full life and pick up again the things that you might have stopped doing. And it's okay to be skeptical, because these results are so impressive that we often get a comment like, this is impossible, it's quackery. But yeah, you get the online training program, which is 28 daily videos as well as 16 weekly videos. You get all the program materials, you get a book, you get the workbook, and 24/7 access to the pain coach. And on top of that, you also get 3 bonuses. So it's a 28-day program to get to your pain-free life, so that you can jump again out of the office building, like Brajesh is doing here on the picture. And of course, it is an investment, and you might not be used doing this type of investment for yourself. But ask yourself, would it be worth it to get back to a pain-free life? And would it be worth it if you can stop those regular sessions with the physical therapist, with the chiropractor, the osteopath, etc.? Would it be worth it if you can stop being tired of hurting all the time? And would it be worth it if you can break this never-ending loop of pain? Like, you have pain, you go to the doctor, you get pills, you get scans, you get physical therapy, maybe you get surgery, and then again you're back in pain. So this is this never-ending loop, and pain might go away temporarily or for a year, and then a year after the pain goes back. So this loop that you can break. And would it be worth it if you can leave behind everything that you've tried? I mean, I've tried over 35 different techniques, and I was so happy that I could leave them all behind and that I'd never had to look at that again. Now, why Zero Pain Now is so successful? Because we do things radically different than the current pain relief techniques, and we look really at the root cause of chronic pain. And it's all about this stress tension that is originating in your brain, diversion mechanism. When you remove the diversion, there is no more pain. Then ask yourself, and I did that calculation for myself, like, how many money and how much time have you already spent in the past years to get rid of your pain? That was also a huge investment. And if you didn't think about it, it didn't even give you permanent relief. And money is something that you'll earn back, but time time is something that you can never get back to. And again, imagine your life pain-free again, that you can return to a normal physical activity, that you can save time and money, and that you don't need any therapy anymore, and that you have no more fear of using your body. And you can get this all really, really easy. And when I did this program, and when I told somebody what it would cost me to do, then people were like, Esther, are you going to put so much money in this? That people didn't understand it. But I knew I had to do this to get rid of my pain. I felt that this was good for me, so I did it. And it's okay to be skeptical, because everybody that goes on the 0.0 program is skeptical. It's normal. That is okay. Because very often when you think something is too good to be true, it is. And it often is. But sometimes when it is true, then it's also fantastic. And that is what 0.0 is about. It's the most amazing revelation about pain that I have experienced. So that's also why I'm here helping others. So again, it's a program. Experience changes the brain in 28 days. Some people that have been through the program. So this is Sandra. She suffered 15 years of whiplash pain. She had 2 car accidents, hit in the back, and got a lot of pain. She got rid of her pains. Carla, I think we've already had her before, 15 years of back, neck, shoulders, and knee pain. She calls the program liberating. She was really happy to get back to her normal activities. And here we have Claire, who suffered 45 years of back pain. It's just a lot if you've already suffered for so many years pain. And she basically says in her testimonial, just do it. So, think about it for yourself. Be your number one priority. And so you get some bonuses with this program. You get lifetime access to the online program. So you go once through all the videos. If ever you want to rewatch some of the materials, you can always do that. And you also get lifetime support from your coach. So that means that I coach you in the program so that you can become pain-free. If ever something really stressful happens and pain is coming back, then you can always contact me and I'll get you back on track. This is something that we offer. It's a bonus, but in real practice, this hardly happens. I mean, that's how successful the program is. And then you get a starters reset program of a value of 500 euros, in which you can add some dynamic changes in your life and get really back on track. Now this Richard Branson, which is a very successful entrepreneur. When he has something new and he doesn't know for sure if it's going to be something, then he's like, screw it, let's do it. And you know what? Nothing to lose but your pain. So I'm going to give you some more examples of people that went through the program, that successfully did it. And if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat so that I can answer them afterwards. So let's go through some of the people we have, so I can try to finish in time in 15 minutes. Lisa suffered 25 years of fibromyalgia, whom I coached, I think it was 2 years ago. She calls the program shocking and unbelievable. So she had also tried loads of different methods and techniques, suffered on different parts in her body of pain, got a lot of diagnosis. And when she went through, she was she got rid of all of her pains and also some other interesting stuff. So she was really happy to have done the program. She calls it, what did I say? She calls it shocking and unbelievable. I always like the Americans, but they can say, the way they say shocking is so interesting. Shocking, it's shocking. Oh, nice. So this was Wim. I'm Dutch. He's Dutch too. He suffered 10 years of all kinds of body pains, and he went through the program, and he calls it surprising. It's like, how does this work? How does this happen? It's surprisingly, but it works. And he's also happy to be out of his pains. And he's a forger, so he uses his shoulder and arms and back for his daily work. And here we have Kathy again. So she's a cook in a college. She stands a lot, and she called the program a miracle because she was so happy that she could do gardening again, and that's also she could get into a kayak and do some kayaking on the water and dancing. So she was really happy with that. That's why she called the program a miracle. And this is Joyce, who suffered over 20 years of knee pain. She was walking with a cane, and she was scheduled for surgery, which she canceled. And after having done the program, her knee pain was gone, and she calls the program empowering. Here we have Mike. He suffered 9 years of back pain, and he calls the program a gift. It's a gift. I think he also mentioned in his testimonial it's a must-do. Nice testimonial, by the way, that you can find on my website. And you know, when people get out of pain and can go back to their life, that is so that's so nice. That's so nice. This is Suzanne, the one that I coached with the longest pain. So she was 78, I think, and suffered 50 years of all kinds of fibromyalgia pains. And she calls the program healing. I mean, she was adorable to work with. Even with her age, it is possible to get rid of the pain. So, yeah, it says it's an interesting program. And this is Jennifer. I didn't coach her myself. She suffered 36 years of back pain. She was coached by Adam Heller, the creator of Therapy Now, and she was in a wheelchair actually. You can find on the Therapy Now website, no YouTube channel. You can find her video testimonial, actually quite funny, because she has a wheelchair in the room, but she's actually just standing and dancing, and after having suffered so long, really happy to be out of pain and out of the chair. So yes, it is a successful program. The 4,000 successful cases, the 100% success done at the major medical clinic, the Mayo Clinic, the 97% success rate that we have with clients, and the 85% of the clients that have a major improvement after the first week. Now, about me, I'm Esther Drost. I'm Dutch from origin, and I live in the south of France with my 3 sons, who are now 11, 14, and 15 years old. I am a certified Therapy Now master practitioner. I healed my own chronic back pain 6 years that lasted in 2018, not really pain since. I'm also a master practitioner in NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. I'm a therapist in PBA, that's a French program to resolve emotional blockages. And I learned about the trigger point reset method in the Netherlands. Before my life was being controlled by pain, I used to be an IT business consultant, and I've worked with a lot of pleasure, in also pressure, yes, in that industry. But the pain changed my path, and now I am doing this. And I wish you a pain-free life. And thank you from myself and from Brajesh for being here. Bye-bye.